When you, as the chairman, look at people, each company has its own important values for corporate talent, right? For example, Chairman JUNGGU of Hyundai would say, if it doesn't work, make it work. Have you tried it yourself? He emphasized bulldozer-like drive, while someone like Chairman Lee Byung-chul would ask, can you do it perfectly? He preferred a meticulous, somewhat Japanese-style approach. But at Atomy, Chairman, what qualities do you place the most emphasis on when it comes to talent?
For me, I think of a person who truly and genuinely combines all the important qualities and characteristics that major companies like Hyundai and Samsung are looking for in their ideal employees. Yes, I would like to have that kind of talent. Otherwise, it becomes difficult. So just being meticulous isn't enough. You also need to be bold, courageous, and have good foresight.
But is there really anyone who has all of those qualities?
Well, even if no one actually has all of them, it's still important to at least make the effort to be that way. Yes, really. And then I believe it's essential for a leader to combine people with those different talents to make up for each other's shortcomings and raise the overall level of completeness. Yes.
Chairman, when you look at your employees, since some of them might be watching this broadcast, how can they work so that they can earn your favor or be recognized by you in the future?
Now, as I run the company, I always say, don't manage, supervise, or monitor people. Like this.
Monitor.
I keep emphasizing this point. But actually, business administration is really about management science. How can you...
Management.
Yes, it's about how to manage well, but I keep telling people not to manage.
Well, I was really surprised at first, too.
Right, so the premise behind managing, monitoring, and supervising is that people are inherently lazy. And if you leave them alone, they won't work. They'll just slack off and try to have fun. So in order to detect whether someone is slacking off and to prevent them from doing so, you set goals for how far they should go. And then you supervise them to make sure they're staying on track. This is how management is usually defined, but my perspective is a bit different. What I mean is I believe people are not inherently lazy. Then some people say this, you must not have seen truly lazy people. There really are some lazy folks out there. There are people who do absolutely nothing. That's what they say. Then I raise a counter argument. I don't think they're lazy, because have you ever seen a lazy baby? Babies, newborns.
They're not lazy.
Right? Even when they're lying down, they're always wriggling. And once they start walking, they run everywhere, touch everything, and cause a commotion. Moms have a hard time because of that. The only time a baby is still and it's difficult is when they're sick. So babies already have an internal drive to keep moving. But then, why did that child become lazy? There's a reason for that. It's because they're told not to do what they want to do, and instead are told to do things they don't want to do, usually starting with studying. So it's when they start going to school that lazy children begin to appear, right? So if you really want to keep them from becoming lazy and ensure that drive to move keeps coming out, then honestly, there's only one way to do it. Let them do what they want to do. So let them decide for themselves what they want to do, why they want to do it, when they will do it, and how much they will do. Usually, there's one main reason people dislike doing something. And that reason is that they don't have the right to make their own decisions. When you do what others tell you to do, you end up becoming like a machine. Even though people aren't machines, they're forced to move like one. And that's why they don't want to do it. It's like saying, I'll do the thinking, you just move your hands and feet. In that case, you're not really making proper use of the person. Then you judge, you think, and you do it. So usually when someone joins a company, they're assigned specific tasks, given assignments, made to set goals, and placed within a strict management system. But if possible, I prefer a more free-range approach. Neglecting. Just leave them alone a bit, right? If you just leave them be, do you really think someone who just joined the company wouldn't want to do anything? Everyone wants to do something. Who wants to get paid and not work at all? So they're eager to do things, but I tell them to first get a sense of how everything works and then start slowly. This is the kind of thing you should tell them. But usually, as soon as they join, they think, I'm getting paid, so I should work hard. But if you work hard without even understanding how everything operates, will that really help the whole organization? So if you just leave them alone, they'll start looking for things on their own. As they do that, they start to understand the whole picture and realize, oh, this area is lacking. If I fill in this gap, that could be my role. Then as the organization's weak points are gradually addressed and improved, that person also feels more motivated because they made the decision themselves and they can start working enthusiastically and enjoyably.
Chairman's conductor-style leadership is about simply providing a space or a genre where the sound that God has already given to each person can naturally be expressed.
So a bird has to keep singing, a horse has to run, a fish has to swim. In the same way, people also need to move. We have to do something. We all know what the greatest punishment is.
Being locked up in prison, being put in solitary confinement. Yes, that's the greatest punishment. So if you start from the understanding that people are beings who want to move and want to work, people will naturally be active. But then the question is whether this actually leads to good performance when you look at objective management indicators. In Atomy's case, the results are very good. The sales per person are about 7 billion won. That means the work is being done extremely efficiently. Management experts come and just shake their heads. Is it okay with so little control?
Right.
Exactly.
So those kinds of subdivided management systems, what we call scientific management systems, have been applied not only to production management, but also to personnel management. I think it would be good to look at things from the perspective of people. Yes.